So what we're going to be talking about today is how to set up a Caselaw alert. So before we dive into setting it up, let's talk about what is a Caselaw alert. A Caselaw alert is an email that is sent out to you in relation to a designated search query that notifies you when newly published cases have come about that meet the criteria designated in that search query. So an example would be, if I set up a Caselaw alert email for murder in the Ninth Circuit, I'm going to get an email that notifies me of the cases that contain the word murder as soon as they're published in the Ninth Circuit. So let's talk about setting it up. So on my screen currently, you can see that I'm going to go ahead and run a search for fraud, and then I'm going to do that search for California state cases and for Ninth Circuit cases. So right away, first thing I do is I want to just go ahead and run my search. Now on my screen, of course, we have the normal search results page. Now once you have your search results, you can set up a Caselaw alert simply by coming up. So we have the search bar that has followed us from the main research page. That's now at the top of the search results page. I simply come over here and click this down arrow. So you see where I'm hovering. Down arrow, right side of the search bar. Click it. There's an option here, add as alert. So I add it as an alert. Now I'm going to receive an email. By default, you'll receive an email no more than once per business day with the list of all cases that are published. Now you can change the frequency upon which you receive an email, because a lot of you may be thinking, well, I don't want an email once a day even for 15 Caselaw alerts. Well, you can change the frequency or even do what we call a digest by coming over here. So you see we have this clock icon. So when I hover over the clock icon top right, it says the clock icon is where I find history, bookmarks, and alerts. I click it. 5 tabs will open up. I find my Caselaw alerts under the 5th tab from the left or the tab on the furthest right. I click it. Now you see I've got the alert, the Caselaw alert that I just set up. It's going to look for and notify me when cases are published from either California state courts or the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that contain the word fraud. Now right away, as I told you, you'll get that business daily. You can come over here and edit that frequency by clicking this pencil to the left of the alert. You can also click this trash can to the left of the alert to remove it. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, there's a digest option here where you see where I'm currently pointing. If you select that radio button, you'll get all of your alerts combined into a single email based upon your designated frequency. Now, a Caselaw alert email will look like this. It's pretty self-explanatory. It gives you the number of results. It tells you what was the search query you used when you set up this alert. And then my favorite feature about a Caselaw alert email is it also creates public hyperlinks to all of the newly published cases. So if you've attended any other webinars, you'll know that a public link is a fancy way for saying a way to open up the text of a case without having to log into Fastcase. So having these not just hyperlinked cases, but also hyperlinked public links means that I can forward this email to an associate who may not have access to Fastcase. I can read all my cases without having to log in. If you're a person that, let's say, you have to go through the extra steps of the Bar Association portals and you just are not feeling it at the moment, you can read it right from your inbox. And of course, you get the case name and you get the excerpt that is often the goal in mind of being a relevant paragraph that contains the keywords or phrases used to make up your search query in the Caselaw alert. And that is Caselaw alerts in a nice 5-minute or less summary.